Hello, my name is Garcia and this is my video film analysis on 13th. For my short summary, I have 13th. The 2016 documentary explores the history of systemic racism and oppression in the United States criminal justice system in relation to the 13th Amendment. The documentary examines the misuse of a clause to disproportionately target and imprison Black Americans, therefore perpetuating racial discrimination within the criminal justice system. This film highlights the impact of mass incarceration on Black communities, the profit-driven nature of prison industrial complex, and the role of politics and media in perpetuating racial stereotypes and biases. It also critically explores the factors contributing to high incarceration rates of Black Americans, including the war on drugs, political decisions, and systemic racism, while also examining the economic interests and political motives behind this issue. 13th argues for the urgent need for systemic change and reform in the criminal justice system to address these deep-rooted issues. The main point of the 13th documentary was to expose the systemic racism and oppression embedded within the U.S. criminal justice system. The first idea that stood out to me was the film's use of visual imagery. Throughout the documentary, many images were displayed to reveal the dehumanizing nature of slavery and the lengths people would pursue to continue the oppression of African Americans. The famous image of Slave Gordon's disgorged back was a specific image that stuck out to me because it accurately depicts the cruelty of slavery through vivid displays of his scarred back. Since the image is not blurred, I felt that as a viewer you truly get to acknowledge the sense of reality back then. The second idea that stood out to me was the statistics. The demographics that were presented provide a clear illustration of the extent of mass incarceration in the United States, as well as the disproportionate impact of the system on Black Americans, like how although Black men make up only 6.5% of the U.S. population, they constitute 40.2% of the world's prisoners. I found this information shocking due to the sheer scale of the issue and how the system of mass incarceration disproportionately affects specifically Black people, as well as it highlights the deep-rooted racial disparities in the criminal justice system. Then for my review, I have that I thought it was an interesting film that raises awareness about the systemic racism and mass incarceration issues in the United States. It exposes the deep-rooted racial injustice within the U.S. criminal justice system by compelling statistics and personal stories that deliver a powerful call to action for reform. 13 represents a diverse range of voices and perspectives, including African Americans, activists, politicians, and formerly incarcerated individuals. In order to portray the diverse voices and perspectives within the film, the documentary handles representation through various personal narratives and interviews, historical context, demographics, and the inclusion of key figures. By incorporating a wide range of voices, the documentary effectively handles representation, offering an inclusive perspective on the complex issues explored. Something I would have done differently in the film would be to provide counter-arguments and differing perspectives by including interviews or viewpoints from those who may hold different opinions on the causes and solutions to mass incarceration, which could have made the film more balanced and open to a wider range of perspectives. And then for critics, I have that other than that, I have no other critics for the film as I thought it was a very interesting and enlightening.